Hi Libra, welcome to your love reading for April 2019. This is Elizabeth from channeledguidance.com. I've already shuffled the decks for you, so let's go ahead and begin. This is for confirmation, but first let's get you 9 cards from this deck. This is the love reading for the sign of Libra for April 2019. The first card that you have, Libra, is a 2 of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. The Fool. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. The Tower. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. Queen of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. The 8 of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. The Chariot. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. The World. Love reading for the sign of Libra for April. The Lovers. There was a couple of cards. Let me just show them to you that... Actually, you know what? You've had a few cards jump. Let me just show them to you, because in case you're going to be wondering what they are. I have the Page of Swords, which could be honest communication, perhaps an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. The Empress, which is the ultimate energy of abundance, love, marriage, justice, perhaps an apology. I'm going to put these back because of the way that they fell. There's also another one down here on the floor, which this is a good one. You have the Star, which represents hopes and wishes. Let's try this again. One more. Love reading for Libra for April 2019. The 5 of Swords. Okay. What's the most important thing that Libra needs to hear about their love life for April 2019? The message that you have, Libra, is the 4 of Pentacles. So you don't want to hold on too tight to maybe the way you think things are going to turn out. This is a card of being really stubborn and not being open to new things, new changes. You just want to stay in your safe place. We'll come back to this to see how it ties in with everything that we see here. Also, if you would like to get a private reading with me, just go to my website, channeledguidance.com. I'll put a link down below, also a link to my Facebook page, and you should be watching this on YouTube channel, Channeled Guidance Tarot. Okay, so let's see what you have going on here. I see you have a lot of major arcanas, which means there's going to be a lot of big things changing in your love life, no matter what your marital status is. Okay, so you have the 2 of Swords, the Fool, and the Tower. So, I mean, you have this Fool. I'm going to start there because the Fool does represent some type of new beginning for you. And yes, if you're single, it can be a new person coming into your life, a new relationship. But it can also be, taking a chance on maybe a relationship that you're questioning. Maybe you're wondering if you should leave a relationship. This can also be your partner giving you a second chance. The Fool is, it does have this like risky element to it where you're taking a chance. Maybe you're taking a chance with someone who's very different than you if you're single. Maybe it's someone who's a lot younger or a lot older. There's something risky about this new beginning, but you just have to trust. You have to trust. But, I mean, you start with the 2 of Swords. So, I mean, to me, the 2 of Swords does represent that you have some tough decision to make. It's like, Libra, you're trying to decide something, like, should I allow this new person in? Or should I have this new beginning with so-and-so, whoever it is that you're in love with right now? There is a big shakeup here that could happen. And I say could because I feel like it depends on you, the 2 of Swords. What decision are you going to make? The 2 of Swords does mean that you're stuck, that nothing's going to change unless someone makes a decision, whether that's you or your partner. The Tower can mean that things can change very unexpectedly. And I feel like it's in a good way. Because, I mean, you do have the Fool right next to it, a new beginning. I feel like there's a lot of messages coming through here, but, I mean, let's look at this energy, the 4 of Pentacles. This is someone who's not open to change. But, I mean, when you have things like the Tower, you have to be open to the unexpected. So for many of you, perhaps it's your partner who is holding back from you. Because this can be right here. This can be someone who's being really stubborn and refusing to let go. Maybe even to move to a higher level of commitment. But someone has a really tough decision to make. There is a new beginning there where you just have to trust. And the Tower. There can be something that takes you completely by surprise. A new beginning, maybe with someone who had been refusing to let you in. Second row. Queen of Swords, 8 of Cups, the Chariot. So the Queen of Swords definitely can't be you because you're an air sign. If you're involved with someone who's also an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, it can also represent them, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. You got the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups, this is a goodbye. Maybe somebody, left you behind. Maybe you had to leave someone behind. Now, let's just start there. If you had to leave someone behind, I feel like you will be fine. You have the Chariot. This is victory. This is you, seeing a lot of big changes in your love life. This is the ultimate card of movement. If somebody left you, I still see movement there. Movement in the relationship. So, I mean, because to me, this is a card of moving away from someone because you're not happy. So whether that's you or your partner, but the Chariot does represent a lot of movement, but it does mean you have to stay in the driver's seat. Let's just keep going here to see what all this means when we tie it together. You have the World, the Lovers, and the Five of Swords. I mean, so you have the World, and the World is saying it is, for the sign of Libra at least, it is a time of endings and new beginnings. It doesn't have to be the end of a relationship or a marriage, but it could just be that it's time to close the door to an old chapter. And maybe it was a chapter where you argued a lot, where there were a lot of problems. Maybe that's why you have the Eight of Cups. This could be leaving behind old emotional baggage, old issues that are just tearing you apart. It's time for a new beginning. And of course you have the Lovers here. The Lovers to me is a significant relationship. Perhaps, your life partner. This is a relationship that you really want, whether you're already in it and you want to keep it, or it's a relationship with someone that you want to have. It just means that there has to be some type of ending in your life in order for you to have this. So maybe for some of you, you have to end another relationship to be with this person, or maybe they have to end a relationship to be with you, or they just have to be open to a new beginning in their love life. Someone is closed off here. Someone's being really stubborn and resisting change. And then you have something like the Five of Swords. I mean, the Five of Swords, this can be someone who can make, unwise decisions, sabotage. And yes, it can be self-sabotage. It's just, the Five of Swords even kind of seems out of place here, but I mean, it is what it is. It's here. The Five of Swords can be someone who maybe even made a bad decision in moving away from you, because you do have an ending here and an ending here. So, I mean, there can definitely be someone who pops up and, maybe regrets moving away from your relationship. Again, the Five of Swords can definitely be self-sabotage, someone who just messed up, made a bad decision. And maybe that's why you have the Fool. Are you going to give this person a second chance? This is a matter of trusting. With the Fool, there are no guarantees. You just have to trust that things will work out. But you do have the Tower, which is telling me that, you can see a huge change in your love life if you do allow this new beginning to happen from the Fool. Let's get a few more. What other messages are there for the sign of Libra for April 2019? The Queen of Pentacles. So this one had jumped. Remember, I showed it to you and put it back. What other messages are there for Libra for April? The Knight of Wands. Messages for Libra for April. And the Sun. So for those of you where there's an earth sign, the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I mean, there's definitely positive energy around this relationship, whether they're male or female. Keep that in mind. The Sun. This is a card of happiness and blessings. This can be a card of marriage. This means that no matter what you're going through, things will work out. And, the earth sign can either be your partner or somebody new. It can even represent your energy if you have a moon or rising in an earth sign. There's positive energy. There's success around your love life, especially, tying this in with the Chariot. There's victory. Maybe even if somebody did walk away from you, but there's still hope here. There's still happiness. Perhaps someone just made a very bad decision here with the Five of Swords. Someone, this is a sense of sabotage. Someone who is their own worst enemy. And, speaking of movement, you have the Chariot here. Here's more movement for you. The Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, this is someone who goes after what they want. So if you have, let's just start here. If you have a moon or rising and an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, perhaps you need to take some action towards moving here to this happy energy from the Sun. Because the Knight of Wands, this is going after what you want relentlessly, refusing to give up. And the Chariot is that similar energy of staying in the driver's seat. Not that you're going to go out and stalk someone until they come back to you, but this is staying positive. This is a card of being really self-confident and refusing to give up, because perhaps you're dealing with someone that is in a strange place mentally, someone who maybe just made a really bad decision, and either you're making the decision to take them back, the Two of Swords, or they're having a tough time, you know, making the decision to come back to you. Okay, let's get some cards from the confirmation deck before we move on to the X spread. What other messages are there for Libra for April? Nine of Swords. What other messages are there for Libra for April? The Five of Cups. Messages for Libra for April. And the Ten of Wands. What's the most important thing that Libra needs to hear about their love life for April 2019? The Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is someone that has a lot of thinking to do. This is saying maybe you have a lot of options, and for some of you, yes, maybe there's more than one person in the picture, but it could be that you really need to look at what is happening in your love life right now. Like if you're already coupled and there's a lot of issues, it's time to really look at everything and take your time in making a decision, because for many of you there is a decision here, but you're stuck, or maybe it's your partner who's stuck and refusing to take action. This is saying take your time in looking at everything, because you do have options open to you. Let's look at these three cards right here. So what I see, I mean, you've got the Nine of Swords at the top. The Nine of Swords does represent a lot of stress. So for many of you, you're just, you know, you're agonizing over what's going on in your love life right now. The Nine of Swords means that you're imagining the worst. Perhaps you're imagining that, you know, you've lost someone, or they're not going to come back, or maybe you feel like you're never going to meet anybody. This is that kind of energy. There's unhappiness here. There's tears and sadness, but this, to me, this is mostly feeling just really disappointed. Someone has let you down, or you feel disappointed by love, and you feel like giving up, and you definitely don't want to do that because of what you have going on over here. So, I mean, especially if you're feeling defeated in love, I mean, that sounds kind of dramatic, but that's just what I get from these three cards. They feel defeated in love. Maybe you feel like, just like your partner, the person that you love, just completely destroyed you. Keep this in mind right here. Sorry, move you a little bit over here. Keep this in mind. You have to stay in the driver's seat. You have victory here. You have positive energy and success, but you do have to stay in control. And for some of you, you have to stay optimistic. You have to go after what you want, because you do have a shocking change here. Perhaps right now you're miserable. Perhaps right now you're hurting, but the Tower means there will be a very unexpected change in that situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. I've already shuffled it, and you even had a jumping card, so let's get these out of the way. I'll keep these here in case something repeats itself in the X spread. Remember, for the X spread, it can be someone that you had a long-term relationship with, but it can even be someone that you dated, and maybe you just want to know if you're going to hear from them again. The card that jumped is this one, the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups does represent sadness, almost feeling numb, not caring anymore, just feeling, you know, a sense of loss. So this can be you or your ex. Let's put that back in there. I just noticed the card at the bottom of the deck, the Five of Swords, sabotage. And you did have this card in the first spread that we just did. Someone maybe made a very, very bad decision. Okay. Libra and their ex, April 2019. The Empress. Libra and their ex, April 2019. Six of Wands. Libra and their ex, April 2019. King of Pentacles. Libra and their ex, April 2019. The Six of Cups. Libra and their ex, April 2019. Six of Swords. Libra and their ex, April 2019. You have a lot of sixes in this. Like, I only pulled 6 cards for you. Look at this. I only pulled 6 cards for you, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 6 cards are 6. The 6s represent balance and harmony. So it's like, you know, this is a general reading, so you have to kind of think for yourself, what happened between you and your ex? Because, I mean, seeing all these 6s, perhaps the timing was off. Something maybe was just out of balance in your relationship, or something was out of balance in their life at the time, or something was out of balance in your life. Maybe there was just too many things going on in your personal life, and you couldn't make things work. It affected your relationship. It's just very strange. I've never seen this in an X spread where there's so many 6s. Something was out of balance. a lack of harmony. Let's start at the top. So you have the Empress, the Six of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. So for many of you, there is an earth sign involved, because you had you didn't have the King, you had the Queen of Pentacles in the first spread. Here she is, and she had also jumped when I was pulling the cards, and I told you, you know, here it is, and I put it back, and then I pulled the Queen of Pentacles. Now the King is here. So for many of you, there is an earth sign. This can be you, or it can represent your ex. Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. You know, the Empress, this is the first card that I pulled for you. And again, we're looking at a spread for a relationship that is no longer there. You've broken up for whatever reason. Yet you get something like the Empress, which does represent the energy of having it all, where you just feel like, I couldn't ask for more. That is the best way of describing the Empress. You have it all. And you know, you have the Six of Wands right next to it, victory. So it's like that option of, you know, of being with your ex, it's still there. It's still there with the Empress being the first card. But perhaps something needs to be brought back into balance. Maybe there was a misunderstanding there. Maybe there was too much going on in your life, or maybe in their life. The Empress, this is very much an energy of an ideal relationship, someone that can give you everything you've ever wanted. There is a victory here. Now victory, I mean, the Six of Wands is victory, but this represents obstacles being removed from your path. So whatever it is that was blocking your relationship, whether it was another person, or maybe the timing was all wrong, this can represent that those obstacles can be removed. Yeah, it's just very strange, all these sixes. The past, you have the Six of Cups. I mean, it very well can be that this just represents that you're tied to this person, your connection from the past is still there. I mean, that's the first thing that I get. So many of you may be thinking, you know, maybe it was a long time ago, maybe they've moved on. Just because someone moved on, it doesn't mean that they're not thinking about you. So, I mean, that can be what we're seeing here. But, I mean, this is just saying that the past is still very much, it's still present. The Six of Swords, I mean, this is a card of movement. This is a card of getting away from a negative situation. So this is probably whatever didn't work between you, whatever broke you up, the challenge that you had. This is being able to get past that and have a much healthier relationship. It's still there. And then the Six of Pentacles. So this does mean that you can have the relationship that you deserve, that you can receive what you want from your ex. It's just maybe you have to work through these past issues. This can definitely also be emotional baggage from the past that's still there, that you don't want to let this affect you. Because I mean, all these sixes, you know, it's just very strange. Like something is just out of balance. Something was out of balance. Maybe it still is, and you need to kind of balance things out in order to bring a sense of harmony back into your relationship. Again, starting with the Empress, you can have it all. Let me get a few more. Let's see what other messages come up to give us more clarity. What other messages are there for Libra about their ex for April 2019? So your energy as an air sign, the King of Swords, although it can be your ex if they're also an air sign. Libra and their ex for April 2019. The Knight of Cups, Libra and their ex, April 2019. The Page of Cups, Libra and their ex, April 2019. The Eight of Cups, which is interesting because you did have this card in the first spread. Here it is. Same card, just different deck. So, I mean, what I see here, you know, there's movement, and then you did have that kind of energy in the first spread. You had the Chariot right next to the Knight of Wands. There's, you know, a movement around your relationship with your ex. I mean, when you see this in a reading where you're talking about someone who's no longer in your life, maybe you don't even have any contact anymore, the fact that you see movement here is really significant. Movement and communication. Because the Page of Cups does represent communication, whether it's a phone call, a text message, an email. This is someone reaching out to you and telling you how they feel. So, I mean, your ex could be popping up very unexpectedly because you did have the Tower. You could be shocked that, you know, they're still thinking of you. And, I mean, the Eight of Cups 2 times. You could be hearing why somebody really left. I mean, the Eight of Cups, this is someone who chose to move to move on because they were not happy. But there's communication around this. Like they're telling you, this is why I really left. This is how I really feel. This is what really happened. The past is not yet, it's not disappeared. It's still there. The feelings are still there. And I feel like for many of you, you will be hearing what really happened, what's really in their heart. Okay, Libra, this has been your love reading for April 2019. I hope this helps you, and thanks for watching.